Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome everyone in today's class for the first intermediate grade. Our textbook is Super Goal 2 and today we will start our first lesson in the first unit of the third semester. Today we will cover what can you do there, listen and discuss, and pair work. This lesson will be presented by me, teacher Mazin Harbi, and the sign language by Mr. Saleh Al-Ajan. So let's begin. Our objectives in today's lesson, we hope that at the end of this lesson, you will be able to list places around the town and relate activities to places and ask about ability and like, and also answer questions about ability and like. So, as we are familiar with each unit has one main question that we always start with. And our main question for today is, what can you do? And here we're talking about your ability by doing different things in different places. For example, and here I'm going to start with myself, I can use a computer. I can use a computer. And also, another activity that I can do is that I can play football. I can play football. So I can name a lot of or list a lot of activities that I can do. I can use a computer, I can play football, I can drive a car, I can write or do my homeworks, I can teach English. So there are a lot of things that I can do. So what are the things you can do? Can you use a computer? Can you play a football or play football? So here are the things or some of the activities that we both can do. But when we're talking about the activities that we can do, here we must say or we must mention where exactly can we do those activities. For example, for myself, I can use a computer in my office. I can use it in my office, I can use it in my room, I can use it in my living room. So here I must say where exactly I can do such activity. And what about the other one? I can play football. So where exactly I can play football? Here, I can play football in the playground. I also can play football in the park. I can play football at the school. So here we have different places that where we can, on each place, we can do such activities. And you can think of other places than these. These are just examples for myself. So now we're going to name places in a town and we're going to say also what can people do at each place. So if you remember when we talk about neighborhoods in the last semester, and we said that each neighborhood has its own places, like for example, restaurants, a mall, a park. So what differs now is that we want to say what can we do at each of these places. So let me think of a place, for example, that we have in our town or maybe in our neighborhood, and just write down the things or the list of things we can do at this place. So I'm thinking now about a mall. So what can people do at the mall? Now let's say what people can do, what are the activities that people can do when they go to the mall. So here I'm going to list a few examples. So when people go to the mall, they can shop. They can go from store to store and buy different things or shop for different things. Also, what people can do when they go to the mall, they can meet friends. They can meet friends. So you remember the text about teenagers' favorite place? When we said that teenagers, people like your age, they like to hang out at the mall. So they can meet there and hang out together. So people at the mall, they can meet friends. Also, people at the mall, they can go to a restaurant. You see that at each mall there are a lot of restaurants, there are a lot of in the food court especially, so you can people can go to any restaurant they like and eat or have a meal from that restaurant. Also, people who go to the mall, they can buy a smartphone. They can buy a smartphone. They can buy clothing. They can buy furniture. They can buy a lot of things when they go at the mall. So here is only one example from one place I just chose, which is the mall. You can think of any other place, like for example the park. What people can do when they go to the park? They can walk, they can play football, they can drink coffee. So there are a lot of things or a lot of activities that people can do when they go to different places. So now we're going to listen to the things that people can do in a town. We're going to listen to the things that you can do when you go to different places in a town or in a city. So let's start with the first place here. The first place here we have is the hotel. So what people can do when they go to the hotel? If you are a visitor, you can stay at the hotel. If you are a visitor, you can stay at the hotel. So you can stay at the hotel. This is one activity. There are also another activity. You can use the facilities of that hotel. You can go to the swimming pool. You can have a drink or a coffee at the hotel. You can do a lot of things when you go to a hotel. So let's move on to the second one. Number 2. You can go shopping and meet friends at the mall. You can go shopping and meet friends at the mall. So here the second place is the mall, and one of the activities that you can do, as we just said, at the mall is that you can go shopping from store to store. You can meet friends when you go to the mall. Now let's read about the third place. The third place here is the gym or the health club. You can work out at the gym. You can work out at the gym. So here is one activity that we can do when we go to the gym, is that we practice, we work out. And also there are other activities we can do. We can also meet friends at the gym. We can also join fitness classes or karate classes, as we have learned from our last unit in the second semester. And the fourth place we have number 4, which is a bookstore. So what people or what you can do in a bookstore? You can buy books at the bookstore. You can buy books at the bookstore. So when you go to a bookstore, one of the activities that you can do when you go there is that you buy books. Not only this, you can also at the bookstore, you can read books. You can also buy different items relating to reading, like for example pencils or pens or other things that relates to the books. So this is one activity that we can do at the bookstore. Now let's read let's read about the fifth place, number 5. What can you do when you go to number 5, which is the bank? You can open an account at the bank. You can open an account at the bank. So here, one of the activities that you can do when you go to a bank is you can open an account. You can also transfer money. You can also withdraw cash. So there are a lot of things you can do when you go to the bank. Now let's move on to the 6th place. The 6th place is the supermarket. So what can you do when you go to a supermarket? You can buy fruit and vegetables at the supermarket. You can buy fruit and vegetables at the supermarket. So one of the activities that you can do when you go to supermarket is that you buy vegetables, you buy groceries, you buy different things that you might need. So this is an activity that you can do at the supermarket. So now let's move on to picture number 7. Number 7 is a museum. So what can you do when you go to a museum? You can visit the museum. You can visit the museum. So you can visit the museum and you can also enjoy the paintings that you can see. You can also learn about the history of that museum you went to. So here, one thing you can do at the museum is to visit and enjoy and also learn. And number 8, the 8th place is the park. So what can you do when you go to the park? You can walk or play at the park. You can walk or play at the park. So one of the activities that you can do when you go to park is that you can play, you can walk, you can hang out with your family, you can enjoy the scenery when you go to a park. So these are a lot of things you can do, a lot of activities you can do when you go to a park. The 9th picture, this is a bus station. So what can you do when you go to a bus station? You can buy a bus ticket at the bus station. You can buy a bus ticket at the bus station. So not only this, when you go to a bus station, you can buy a bus ticket, you can move from one place to another. So these are 2 activities that you can do when you go to a bus station. Now, let us move on to the 10th picture we have. Number 10 is a restaurant. So what can you do when you go to a restaurant? You can eat at the restaurant. You can eat at the restaurant. So this is an activity you can do at the restaurant. You can also hang out with friends at the restaurant. You can also pass time at the restaurant. So there are a lot of things to do when you go to a restaurant. Number 11, the 11th picture is school. So what can you do, or what can children do when they go to school? Children can study at school. Children can study at school. So not only this, children, yes, they can study at the school. They can play together. They can hang out together in break times. They can learn new skills. So these are activities that children can do when they go to school. Number 12, and this is an airport. So what can you do when you go to an airport? You can catch a plane at the airport. You can catch a plane at the airport. So one of the activities you can do is to catch a plane and also maybe to check in with your luggage. You can check in with your luggage. You can receive someone who is just arriving from the airport. So there are a lot of things you can do when you go to the airport. So now we have talked about 12 different places. For example, we have talked about the airport, the mall, the bookstore, also the school, restaurant, the park, the bank. So we have talked about the different places and what can we do at each place. So now I'm expecting you to do the same. Listen to me with the other exercise we'll have. Before this, I would like you to open your books on page 26. Would you please open your books on page 26 as we're going to practice what we have just listened to. And here, the first exercise we have is a quick check number 8. So here, I'm going to ask you to mark your favorite places in the picture and say why you like them and what you do there. So, as you can see the picture on page 26, you can mark, you can put a mark on your favorite place. I need you to choose 3 of them. When you choose your favorite places, I would like you to tell me what can you do at each place? For example, if you choose a mall, tell me what can you do at the mall? From the list of the activities we just said. You can say, for example, I can go shopping, I can hang out, I can play electronics, I can see a movie. So there are a lot of things you can choose from going to a mall. Also, if you pick or if you choose a bookstore, you can say, I can, tell me what can you do when you go to a bookstore? You can say, I can read books. I can buy books. And if you choose, for example, the park, tell me what can you do when you go to the park? You can say, I can walk in the park. I can hang out with my family. I can enjoy the trees and the green areas that is in the park. So just mark them, put a circle on your favorite places, and when you do, try to think of the things you can do at your favorite places or the places you have chosen. And now, the other exercise we have is a comprehension one. I would like you to match the activities with places and write the number of each place. So you see that on that page, you will see number on each picture, starting from number 1 until number 12. So what we need to do here is that we're going to write down the number or the picture's number for each activities. For example, when we read the first activity, we're going to think what kind of place that has this activity. And we don't need to write down the place. If you wish, you can just write down the number of that place. So let's start with the first one. Number 1, you can go shopping and meet friends. You can go shopping and meet friends. So what is the place where people can go shopping and meet friends? What do you think? Very good. Yes, it is the mall. It is the mall, which is number 2, picture number 2. Now let's read the other one. You can buy books. You can buy books. So what is the place that people can go and buy books? What do you think? Very good. It is a bookstore, which is picture number 4. Picture number 4. And question or sentence number 3. Visitors can sleep there. Visitors can sleep there. So what is the place where people or visitors can go and sleep? What do you think? Excellent. It is the hotel. Number 1. It is picture number 1. And number 4, sentence number 4, you can open an account. You can open an account. So what is the place where you can go and open an account? Very good. It is the bank. So we're going to write number 5, which is the bank. And number 5, sentence number 5, you can take a bus. You can take a bus. So what is the place where people can go and take a bus? What do you think? Very good. It is number 9, the bus station. Bus station is the place where people can go and take a bus. And the last sentence we have, sentence number 6, you can fly to places. You can fly to places. So what is the place where people can go there and fly from one place to another or from one city to another? What do you think? Excellent. It is the airport number, picture number 12. So here we have answered the activities and we did match them with the places. So the first one, this activity matches the place of the mall. And the second one, you can buy books. This activity, we match it with bookstore. The third one, this activity, we match it with the hotel. And the fourth one with the bank. And the fifth one with the bus station. And the last one with the airport. And now, let us move on to the pair work. How can we ask and answer about places? So, for example, You can ask whether about your ability in a certain place. For example, can I buy a new smartphone at the mall? Can I buy a new smartphone at the mall? The answer will be always the answers with can. We say, yes, you can. Can I buy a smartphone? Can I hang out with my friends? Can I have a meal there? Can I play at the mall? So here is how can we make questions about our abilities. Also here another example. Can I hang out at the museum with my friends? No, you can't. So either we say yes, you can, or no, you can't. So the idea here that we use can with I and we add whatever activity we would like to add to when we talk about places. Also, if you want to ask about yourself, here we have a sample question. Can you play tennis? Here you can, this underlined verb, you can change it to any other activity you'd like. Can you play tennis? Can you use a computer? Can you play football? This is how we form the question with can. The answer will be either yes, I can, if you're talking about yourself, or no, I can't. The other question, so here we're talking about ability, but the other question here, we're talking about likes, whether you like or you don't like. So, do you like to draw? Do you like to draw? And this underlined verb, you can change it to whatever activity you would like to. Can you draw, or do you like to draw? Do you like to play football? Do you like to hang out? So you can think of any activities, and even you can answer with a little bit of details, as we can see here. Yes, I do, and I like to design gadgets. Or you can say, no, I don't, but I like to make things. So you can form questions similar to this by changing only the underlined verbs. And now we have reached the end of our lesson. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.